Eve, congratulations on being named a 2021 Pharma Voice 100 and welcome to our one-on-one video series.
Thank you so much, Taryn, and I'm very, very honored to be included in this year's Pharma Voice 100. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. Eve, you are blazing new trails by ensuring diverse patient perspectives are heard, and you serve as an inspiration for a lot of what happens at Travere. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the initiatives that you're working on at the company?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say that our absolute top priority at Travere is that we are delivering on the promises that we've made to the patients who inspire us to be rare for life. And that means all the patients we serve. So many companies say patient-centric and patient first, but I am really proud that we are patient always. And we work really hard to ensure that we are utilizing the insights from diverse patient populations to guide us from drug development through drug delivery and even beyond that. And we begin with very early research. We begin with our development folks who, when they're looking for our next opportunity, our next molecules, they'll be looking at opportunities that are impacting the needs in diverse populations. So then I'm really proud that we take these perspectives. They're not just something that we do because we do them. We take what we learn and we integrate them into our planning. We take our patient and caregiver advisory council and their input, our diversity ad boards, and then we also strive to ensure that patients of color and other diversities, like geography, for instance, are well represented in our clinical trials. And the thing is, Taryn, we can't just do this alone. We can't just do this as Travere. So we've also focused a lot on working with external partners who have a shared interest in finding tangible solutions to address the important issues. So often over the past 5 years, any conference that I've been at up until several years ago, and some of them you were there with me, you heard people from the podium talk about the problems in health equity, the problems as to why African Americans and Hispanics weren't in trials, weren't included in advocacy groups, but nobody was standing up and talking about solutions. So actually it goes back to when I first interviewed with Eric Dubé, who's the CEO of our organization. And I don't know if you remember that at one of our Women of the Year events at HBA, Deb Dunsire said that one of the most important things you can do when you're choosing a next job is to choose the CEO, somebody who you believe in and somebody who you know believes in you. So when I heard Eric talk about how importantly he felt about diversity and how much it needed to be integrated into the core work we were doing at our company, that made up my mind. I knew this was the place that I wanted to spend many years to come. So that's what Blazing New Trails means to me at Travere. It means making sure that every aspect of what we do reflects the voices, the inputs, and understanding the needs of diverse populations, so that when we do a trial design, we're doing a trial that reflects the fact that a mother of color may not have the paid time off, may not have the child care, may not have the trust in the healthcare research arena to participate in a trial. So that we are trying now to address all of those concerns at our very core.
Eve, just a moment ago, you touched on another important piece of the puzzle, and that's the advocacy groups. Talk to me about how they fit into the overall puzzle.
Taryn, these advocacy groups are absolutely amazing. I mean, there are larger organizations in rare disease like Global Genes and NORD and Every Life Foundation, but it's the grassroots of the rare disease community that are making things happen. They're the ones that are bringing research opportunities to companies like ours. They're the ones who are telling us what we need to do to help them make sure that we're educating their populations and asking us how we can help them reach diverse populations. In fact, I was recently in a conversation with one of our advocacy group leaders, and she actually happens to be Native American, so she's been very involved with us in our diversity work. But we coined a phrase. We coined the phrase momvacacy, because so many of the leaders of these organizations are moms of rare disease kids, and they're doing this because they want to, because they need to, because they have to, and because it's a labor of love. Some of them have actually sadly lost children, and they take that passion and they put it into helping other folks who are now newly diagnosed and dealing with children and young adults and older people in their families. So the advocacy community are just, they are the heart and soul of what we do. And I have to say that I am so inspired by the Martin Luther King quote: if I cannot do great things, I can do smaller things in a great way. Because that's what I think happens in the advocacy communities. They may not be changing the whole arena, or at least not changing things overnight, but they're doing things step by step. And every step is a step forward, and it's a step closer to making a difference for someone who's living with a rare disease. So I live by that mantra daily, because it represents how I and my team, working together with the advocacy organizations, can bring positive change for our patients and for our diverse patients, step by step.
Eve, you mentioned that you can't do it alone. So tell me, who else has to be part of the process?
Certainly, Taryn, the advocacy organizations and the diversity health organizations need to be part of the process. And it's actually, I think, the encouragement that our CEO, as I mentioned before, gave me when we first met before I accepted the job, that he was very interested in helping to find the right partners in the community. So over the past almost 2 years now, we've partnered with the Black Women's Health Imperative. And last year, we launched the Rare Disease Diversity Coalition. Right now, and I'm so proud about this, we are more than 200 members strong and growing. We've reached over $1 million in funding, thanks to numerous industry supporters who've joined with Travere to support this efforts. And our steering committee includes the rare disease groups, the diversity health groups like National Medical Association and National Hispanic Medical Association. We even have the Chief Equity Office of the American Medical Association. So we're all working together in working groups, and we have rolled out very action-based solutions. We have provided $500,000 in funding to various organizations, and I promise I'll come to you first at the end of the fall, but we're expecting that by November, December, we're going to have some very concrete milestones and metrics to share with you. It won't change overnight. It's going to take a couple of years of really strong concerted partnership. But if we keep doing what we're doing, my goal is that whether it's 2 years or 5 years from now, we're not going to need to have a diversity coalition, because diversity will just be part of who we are.
Eve, your passion for this topic is evident. And while you're blazing this trail right now, you've been blazing a trail now for many years on behalf of patients, diverse communities, as well as the larger healthcare community. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for continuing to do great things, very big, great things on behalf of the industry.
Thank you.